Hey friends, it's UrsulasRevenge, and happy Wednesday update day. It is the last week of Camp Western, and with that, we actually only have one new feature to talk about, and it's a new race with Scott Buttergood. And you know what? I've seen the reward, and I'm kind of excited for it. So let's go check out the race. Okay. You know what? While I'm also here, let's check to see if we've got a map icon update. Not yet. Gosh dang it. Yes, this is the third time that I'm bringing up the Ferris flower icon. I would really just like to see it toggleable. It's just kind of obstructive, and I personally don't need it, but I can... The thing is, like, I see why it is a useful feature, and I am all for having that as a useful feature, but not everybody needs it, so I would really like it toggleable. So this is, I guess, week 2 of me asking if the Ferris flower icon can be toggleable. Alright, let's go find Scott. Oh my god, there's so many flowers. I believe he should be where he is normally with the renegades. Hello, Scottford Butford. How much do you know about jackalopes? I've conducted a rather thorough investigation documented here on this board. Scott's looking jumpy. Oh my god, are they gonna do the meme? Why, you might ask? I was kind of waiting for you to ask why. Never mind, I'll just tell you. A jackalope has been spotted in these parts. It looks like a rabbit with antelope horns. It's a vicious creature by all accounts. Oh god, that wolf was about to attack the rabbit! Do you want to help me look for the sneaky critter? What should I say? Sir, I believe that is a mythical creature. We found a yeti, we can find a jackalope. I think that's a good vibe. We had a good time finding Mr. Yeti too. Too bad we can't tell anyone, but at least we have our memories. I ordered a license to hunt jackalopes with my camera in Wyoming on June 31st, but I can't seem to find the date on my calendar. There's only... What? There's a lot of things. I don't know if this is just like Scott being weird. He's saying that he has a license to hunt jackalopes, but really he just means taking pictures of them in Wyoming on June 31st, which there's no 31st days of June, so I guess that's the joke. But if you're gonna go to Wyoming to take pictures of jackalopes, what are they doing on Jorvik? I digress. What should I say? I think you fell for a joke, sir. There's no such date. They're trying to hide their jackalopes. Sure. Holy moly, you're right. They're diverting attention away from the jackalopes, just like the US government tries to do with the ALIENS. Well, no problemo, because we have our own. Oh god. As if we needed any more reason to be embarrassed. I took a ride earlier and saw something, but I never could get my camera working fast enough to get proof. Are you brave enough to search for the jackalope? If you find it, just don't try to pet the dang dab thing. Listen, if not friend, why not friend shaped? They did, oh, that is funny. Okay, so they didn't do like the meme of like Scott at the red string board, but they do have a red string board of conspiracy theories, which I think is hilarious. I marked the area where I saw a lot of weird stuff. Why don't you run the course and see if you have the same experience? Jackalope pet! Okay. So I'm supposed to just follow the trails. Ah! What the heck are you? Okay, so I see the race. Oh god, I can't see anything and I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I'm gonna lose this race. Alright, we're gonna try this again. Come on! I'm not gonna lie, this race is kind of frustrating. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna take a pause right here just to initial reaction. Like, I don't want to be mad. I really don't. But between the, and like, again, I'm going to bring it up, between the Ferris flowers and all of the obstacles in Firgrove, This race is extremely difficult. I'm not usually one to give up or to like say like, oh, if it's too hard, that's not really a problem. Like, I love a difficult race, but with the arrows moving, they're so small that you can't see them. I can't even see them on the mini map to make sure that I'm actually even going the right way. And then every time I finally figure out where I'm going, it does a twist or turn that I'm not expecting. I wind up throwing myself off a cliff and then losing the race. So we're gonna keep trying this, and hopefully it gets easier. But off the bat, this is kind of a miss for me. Oh, that one was actually a jackalope. And now I gotta run all the way back. I don't like this race. No, not today. Not today, sir. Alright, Scott. Oh my heck, you did it. I got a bunny. I got a bunny. It's really cute. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm glad that I did that race once just so that I can get the jackalope. It is absolutely worth it because you only have to do it once. That said, I got some feelings. I got some strong feelings. So, first of all, I don't know if this race is going to be here after Camp Western because, well, first of all, they probably wouldn't have put a high scoreboard if it wasn't. And I think in the next up in Jorvik, they said something about how he wasn't going anywhere after Camp Western. So I have a feeling that that race is permanent, but I mean, we'll find out next week for sure. Also, like, it doesn't give like summer tokens or anything. Not that any of the races gave us summer tokens for this event, but I got some strong feelings, guys. My first frustration with this is that, and it might honestly just be a Camp Western thing, I kept running into those like black shadowy areas, which made it so hard to see with the other filter that they put on. The other filter they put on was cool, it was atmospheric. I liked that. I liked that there was... Wow, it's actually troubling that I can't come up with anything else that I liked. The music was great. I liked the music, but there's something about the way that the pathing of the bunnies to get around those other bad guys and on top of the fir grove foliage and debris and stuff, like the roots and stuff that are already kind of hard to work around. It felt like you really couldn't just go fast to beat the race as fast as possible, you know, for high score purposes. And two, I don't know if it's just because I had to go slow because of the other obstacles that are in Fir Grove, that I don't know if I just missed like the ideal pathing of the rabbits, because they kept being in like the weirdest nooks and crannies that I had to slow down and stop to actually get them, look at the minimap, figure out where the next one was, and then keep going. Next, because of the Ferris flowers, I couldn't even see half of the green arrows because they were being covered, which made the race all that much more difficult because I couldn't see where I was going. I couldn't figure out where I had to go next. And it was just almost like too difficult, like unnecessarily so. Just to make sure, I'm going to do the race one more time to see if it's any easier. So it was a little bit easier, but not really. I think what is really kind of like my big holdup is like the first 3 bunnies. I just can't hit them at like a good, like, I guess cycle, or maybe it's just RNG completely, but I just can't hit them in a way that I don't have to slow down or stop at all, which makes it difficult to get to the next checkpoint. I don't so much mind the like, I guess, I don't know if they're like Yetis. They're like the beasts, I'll say. I don't mind them. They're actually really easy to get around. If you just jump over them, that's totally fine. My issue is that when I jump over one of the beasts, I actually also jumped over the rabbit, which meant I have to stop again, turn around, go get it, move on to the next one before the time runs out. So I think that there are things that could be improved with this race. I don't know if it's just due to the RNG of the bunnies. I don't know if just them, maybe they're a little bit more random than I would prefer. I tend to like to know where I have to go, and now that I kind of a little bit know the path in which cliff it doesn't want me to jump off of, it's a little bit easier, but it's still a very frustrating race for me, and I love challenging races. That's it. If this is your thing, awesome. I hope you love it. But I just don't think this is the race for me. The reward, though, the reward is for me. I do like the reward. But you only have to play once to get it. So that is all that they wrote in the news and all that there is for Camp Western. Sorry, my review today was a little heated, but I also don't think that it was outlandish. Let me know what you guys think about the race. The last thing I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to be brief because the longer I talk about it, the angrier I'm going to get, and I really don't want to get that angry. There was some drama that happened over the weekend on one of the servers where people were saying really mean and vile and disgusting things in the global chat and in the in-game chat system on more popular American servers. I'm not going to say what those things are. There are a ton of trigger warnings. To be honest, when it first happened, I didn't read any of it because of the trigger warnings, but just know it was bad. Amelia Dreambell actually has a really good video about what happened. All of her views I completely agree with, and I 100% agree with how she said it. I'll link that video in the description so that you can see it too if you want to. Trigger warnings for foul language, hateful language, slurs, and explicit content and aggression. And on this matter, I just want to say that yes, Star Stable absolutely needs to do a better job with their chat filter. This has been stated for years. Global chat has been a mess for years with people doing really inappropriate things and saying really terrible things. Racism, homophobia is never accepted, especially here. Like, if you agree with anything that was said in chat, just get out. And I'm sure that Star Stable knows all this. I'm sure that they're aware that this is a worsening situation by the day. I don't know what their filter system is. All I know is that my experience in other games, it's been probably just as bad, to be honest. I've seen some really vile things said in multiplayer game chats and MMOs, and while I tend to just kind of ignore, move on, and report where I can, we don't technically have a way to do that yet in Star Stable. Apparently there used to be a report a player function, but it didn't work, so it was removed, but they are working on a new version that has been tested in a couple of different countries. Most recently, it was tested in Australia, and I really hope to see that come to America. I don't know how it's going to function. I don't know how quick. I know that nothing is probably going to be as quick as anyone on Reddit wants it to be, but I'm sure it's in the work, and I think we just have to, unfortunately, just deal with this a little longer and just keep reporting and keep ignoring and keep contacting support. Even if it feels like they're not doing anything, this is what we have to do until it gets better. And I believe that it has to, because it's not really sustainable the way that it is. So absolutely hold Star Stable accountable to getting a better chat filter to have a safer experience for everyone involved, not just kids. Because yeah, while the adult population is growing on Star Stable, it's not the core audience. And plus, nobody wants to read that. Especially children, but nobody wants to read that. But finally, to close it off, and this is probably the part that I'm gonna get a lot of dislike for, nobody in this community knows how to act right. And when I say this community, I kind of specifically mean this one. But that said, there are some people who do and some people who don't. I personally cannot really go on the Star Stable Reddit because of just how much it is. You absolutely should bring stuff like this to everyone's attention so that they can avoid certain servers like Nightstar or ones that are overpopulated, where these things happen more frequently. They happen on all servers, but it's kind of the worst on the biggest ones. So bring attention to that, absolutely. But I've seen some other posts that are calling out people for not talking about this, and that's also not okay. Especially something like this where there were heavy trigger warnings. Some people just aren't comfortable reading those things. I was not, but I felt guilted into talking about it because of the Reddit community. Because it is something that is important. It is something that needs to be said for this game to be safer. But the way that I feel like it was being said was just like a lot. Almost like a tacky instead of helpful. I've seen people assume that some people aren't talking about it because of their affiliate status. And while full disclosure, I am a Star Stable affiliate, the guideline is to be positive, but it doesn't restrict my opinion. And I think that you can still be positive while offering constructive criticism. Being positive doesn't mean you have to like everything. And when I'm positive about this game, it's because I do like everything. Well, not everything, but you know what I mean. Another thing that I also want to point out is that a lot of stuff that is said on Reddit is not shared to a bunch of the other communities. Most of where I am at, as far as Star Stable community-wise, is on Discord and on Tumblr. And to be honest, I really haven't even checked in with Star Stable Discord in a long while. So mostly just Tumblr. I didn't really see any of what happened on Tumblr. So there's also a good chance that people aren't talking about it because they just don't know. I mean, I tend to not go on Star Stable Reddit for kind of the reasons that I've already explained. Maybe that's why some other people haven't seen it too. Not to mention, I also see a lot of fear-mongering and just misinformation in the Reddit. Quick side note, there's kind of a lot of people hacking. We know that people hack all the time, but there's like apparently a big issue right now in Nightstar, and people are saying that, oh, you can't go on Nightstar or they're going to hack your IP address. That's not how it works. There are people on the Reddit that are actively explaining that that is not how it works. Listen to them. So, takeaway here is don't be a bigot, don't be a jerk, don't be a buttface, play nice in chat, use the ignore feature if you have to, and you have absolutely every right to criticize if Star Stable isn't doing enough, but that criticism has to be constructive and helpful and not accusatory or attacking. Star Stable did also issue a statement about what happened, that they had taken some action, which is a great first step, and I'd love to see that continued in an improved chat filter and moderation settings. And that's where I'm going to leave that. I don't know, hopefully I didn't misspeak. I mean, you tell me. I'm, of course, also open to criticism so long as it's constructive and not rude and disrespectful. Especially with Pride Month coming up, I mean, we're only going to see things get worse in the chat, and I would really like that to not happen, so hopefully we can see improvements to the filter. I mean, they've already gotten a couple of words that they need to manually add to their filter, but hopefully we can see some more changes positive for the moderation and chat settings in chat. So yeah, I think I've talked in circles enough. Well, normally this is where I'm going to say thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video. I do try to cover every Wednesday update and more sometimes, but I really don't even know if this is kind of a likable video. So I guess we'll pick up next week with some better vibes. I'm sure. It's Pride Month after all. Okay, that's enough. Bye!